good to chat with you, man. First time I've ever chatted to you. So, how have you been? How are you handling all the COVID stuff at the moment?
Actually, for me, it's not that bad personally because I mean, it's obviously a pity that we can play live with Orden Ogan.
Mm.
But as I got my own studio and working as a producer as well, I got actually more jobs than I had ever before right now because
Well, that's good. That's
everyone
good to
is
be busy.
yeah, everyone is sitting at home writing new music, and sending me the stuff over, and I'm like, God, when can I do all that?
Yeah, that's good. Well, obviously you got the new album that just came out recently, Final Days. How's the feedback and all that stuff been going so far from the fans?
Amazing. I think it came out like Friday last week.
Yeah.
So we're basically still waiting for the charts in Germany, and or worldwide actually. And yeah, but I think the feedback has been amazing from the fans. I mean, obviously you always got some people that are maximalists of some certain era of the band, like they say like the 2010 record Eastern Hope, that was the best that you've ever made. And then you got the people that say no, Gunmen in 2017, that was the best record. And I think in 5 years everyone will be saying, oh, Final Days, that was the best record.
That's how it is. I mean, you guys already had a few albums already come out so far, so I guess you're at that stage where fans are kind of looking at comparisons and things like that, I suppose.
Yeah. But no, really, what I can really say, I mean, I did a lot of interviews in the last years, but this time it really feels different because I mean, especially from the journalists, you can really tell a lot of people are really into the record, and a lot of journalists are also going like a lot into detail. Like I got the impression that many people have really listened to that, like especially also journalists, which is. I mean, you know how your job is, like you get so much stuff thrown at you and you don't have the time to listen to everything in detail. But it really feels super different for me this time. And everyone seems to really like it. I think our Spotify numbers are going through the roof right now and everything. So it's looking great. I'm very happy. It was a lot of work. And so I'm happy that it's finally out. Yeah.
What did you set out to achieve with this new album? I mean, obviously going back through the back catalog and stuff like that, and obviously you have that sort of signature sound that you guys have sort of worked on over the years. Was there anything in particular that you really worked on focused on this time around?
Oh, no, not really. I mean, the thing is, in my case, in my head is music for 24/7 since I can remember. Like everything in my world is just about music. When I was 2 years old, I was already singing along to the oldies of my dad, and it is Orden Ogan is basically, it is what I want to do, what comes from the heart. This is just the music that comes out of me.
Yeah.
I would be doing these records regardless if there are like 500,000 or 50 people listening on Spotify. I don't care. It's what I want to do. And so it's not that we really want to achieve a certain goal when we start working on a record or something. It's just we just want to make music. It's like because we just love what we're doing. Yeah.
Was it been the release date? Was that pushed back at all because of COVID, or was you always going to release it in 2021?
No, actually, COVID was the least of our problems. This time it was really like, I don't believe in stuff like that, but it really felt like if somebody didn't want us to get this record finished, there was so much stuff going wrong during the production phase that it's really crazy. Like the guys from the record company, they were always thinking I was just trying to find excuses. And meanwhile, it's so obvious that basically everything we want to do goes wrong in a certain way. Like it's really crazy. Starting with the bonus DVD that was the last show of the Gunmen touring cycle before, where all the audio tracks were corrupted and had to be restored, which was a lot of work. Then with the drum recording starting there, I had to go to the music store like 5 days in a row because something broke down. We were actually planning to be done with drum recordings in 2 or 3 days, not working 10 days on drums. Then I had problems with the power grid in the studio. I had to go into another studio to record my guitars there. And when I came back to my studio, everything was fine again. Like all this super weird stuff. And when COVID hit, we were already cynical. It was already like, well, end the worldwide pandemic. Come on, throw
Bring
more
it
at
on.
us. What else?
Yeah, just another thing to sort of tackle, I guess. I mean, there must be a lot of work to sort of get past a lot of these problems along the way, I suppose. It must really be frustrating.
it was really frustrating in this case, because it was just crazy. When I mean, especially then with COVID, we couldn't do the video shoots in the way we wanted, couldn't go to the locations, couldn't have like the big crews on the same spot due to regulations and stuff. And I mean, it was literally, I mean, I'm not kidding. It was in every field that you can imagine, from the booklet to video designs, from schedules, people getting sick, like everything, you know. Like one super small thing, for example, this is a great example of what I'm talking about. When the bonus DVD was finished, there was a guy who was just there to do like the folder, the menu structure basically of the DVD, you know, like when you put it in the player that you can skip to a song and stuff like that. And he did that, and it looked great. He sent it to me and was like, is that fine? Does it work for you? And I was like, yeah, it's great. Can I use that for production? And he said, yeah, I just spotted a little mistake, and let me fix that real quick, and then I sent you that for production. So he fixed that, sent it back to me, and that was like, this is the final file, send it out for production, you know. And I was like, there was so much going wrong in this production. Maybe I should rather burn it on a DVD and put it into the player and really see if this file really works for production. And I burned this DVD, put it into the player, and the only thing it showed was a folder structure, you know, like like some weird names of some. And I was like, great, this is just exactly what I'm talking about. It was everything that could go wrong went wrong. And so yeah, this is why we had to push it back, because at a certain point we were like, okay, we just can't make it in time, because there's so much stuff going on. And yeah, now it's here. I mean, the interesting thing is there are a lot of bands that are postponing the release of their record due to the situation right now, because they can go on tour and promote it. But I personally think this is like the absolute, the worst approach to things, you know. And people are sitting at home. I mean, not everyone is as comfortable as I am, for example. There's the economy is going down, people are losing their jobs, and also losing their joy in life. Depressions are on the rise, stuff like that, you know. And I mean, if we can release new music to people and make at least a little percentage of the people happy, you know, that are waiting for new music and really love to listen to that, why shouldn't we hold it back just because we can tour later on as well, you know? Yeah. So it was suggested as well, and I was absolutely against it. I was like, no, we really have to bring it out. You know, the people are waiting for that, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a great time to put out music, because like you said, you know, everyone's at home, and they, you know, if they can't work, then they're obviously sitting at home and they've got nothing to do, and you know, they can't see shows. So that's certainly a great time to put out music. And it's obviously fantastic to see that you have that idea of putting out new music, because we definitely needed at this very time for sure. I wanted to ask you about some of the guest stars that you've had on the new album as well. You've got Gus G contributing a solo on here. How did that all work out?
Oh, that was actually pretty simple. The thing is, we had some problems with our former guitar player, Toby. Starting already in 2018, we were feeling even back then that there might be bigger problems coming towards us. And it sounds super stupid when I tell this story, but it just actually came from just kidding around, because we were like, okay, if we can get our guitarist to play the solos, maybe we should just find a guest guy to play some solos. And Niels, our guitar player, former bass player, now guitar player, he knew Gus because they had been on tour together, and he just said, oh, I can ask Gus. And I was like, yeah, I mean, no question, of course, do it. I mean, he's obviously one of the best guitar players in the world, and we love what he's doing, and it's an honor for us that he did that. So it's super great. I was actually laughing when I got the solo and pulled up the fader, because it's so Gus G. It was so what I expected to happen. And yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy. I've had a chance to talk to him a couple of times, and a very nice guy. But yeah, like you said, phenomenal guitar player. So he really did a good job on Interstellar, which brings me to my next question. I did notice going through the track list as well that there's a bit of a theme, like a space theme kind of thing. Were you guys kind of going for that sort of theme on this album or concept?
We always got like a shared theme for all the songs. It's not like a real concept record. It's not telling like one story. The actual idea in the beginning was, I mean, I think the name Final Days was their first. The actual idea was to have 10 different songs about 10 different options how mankind could find its end. So the first track was In the Dawn of the AI, that is about an artificial intelligence that is taking control. Then there was the song It Is Over, that is about the last asteroid impact on Earth. We actually had a song about a killer virus and decided to not put it on the record.
Okay, yeah.
It felt highly inappropriate. And it's a good song, though. I think we will release it later on, like as a special or something. And but what I also do a lot is then like stick with a theme, but use like a semantic field, like a field of words, to build metaphors with words that are connected to this theme, but actually mean something totally different. So as an example, if you think about the song Black Hole, I mean, obviously you will be thinking about space when you hear the word black hole.
Sure.
But actually it's a metaphor for the impression that the weight of your own depression is dragging you down to the ground, stuff like that, you know. I do that a lot, and I really, really like that. And it's always great when people are coming to you like after some shows and be like, oh, 5 years later, and I finally understood what the lyrics are about. It's like, it's very great.
Do you ever think about, just going back onto that sort of space theme, do you ever think about the sort of universe and the bigger picture kind of stuff, or?
I'm not sure if I got the question right.
Do you ever think about like on the space theme? Do you ever think about the universe and the bigger picture, the solar systems and all that kind of stuff? Are you into that kind of topics, or?
Yeah, I'm generally into these kind of topics. I'm also like a big Star Trek fan, for example.
Okay.
But it's actually, I really have to say, how it came together. It was super it was very, very different from what would one expect. When we did the Gunmen record in 2017, we wrote the first two songs, and they both had these Wild West kind of melodies and harmonies to it. And so we were like, okay, let's do a Wild West record. For Final Days, it was not clear in the beginning, and it actually came because so many fans came to us and were saying, you have been in a post-apocalyptic ice world, then you've been in a swamp, and now you are ghost cowboys. There's nowhere left to go. Where do you want to go? Do you want to go to space or what? And if you get this question for like 50 times or 100 times, then you're like, okay, maybe we should do like a sci-fi record. It's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, definitely. So now that the album is out, and obviously touring is going to be a little bit hard for at least for a little while. What are the plans for the band in 2021?
I mean, we postponed the tour now for the third time. Actually, it was planned that we go out on a headlining tour in even last year with Support's Gravedigger and Rage, which would have been an amazing German metal package. And we had to postpone it then to April of this year, and due to scheduling conflicts, we had to take on other supports, and then wanted to bring Brothers of Metal and Windrose with us, and that didn't work out as well. So we're now have postponed again to February next year, which I think that is likely to be possible. Yeah. I mean, I think that could happen in February next year. This year, I personally don't think that there will be any shows, at least not in Germany or here in Central Europe. Let's see. We are actually thinking about doing a streaming show, but I really have to say that a lot of the streaming shows I've seen last year made me even more sad about the situation. If you have like a band that is on a stage in an empty venue, I had that for years myself, playing in empty venues. I don't think I need that anymore. So it will look very, very different from what other bands have done, like more like a music movie or like a very, very long performance clip in a super special location, stuff like that, you know. But it's still, I mean, it's too early to tell. The record is just out, so we're thinking about that once this is all done.
Well, look, good luck with everything, and congratulations on the new album. And look, I know it might be a long shot, especially these days, but hopefully we might be able to get to see you in Australia in the future. We'd love to see you down here.
I hope so. Yes.
Definitely.
It would be awesome.
Well, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. And look, good luck with everything.